Hello traders, and I welcome you again to the Forex Ball Trading Academy. And today it's a very interesting analysis, long-term price action for the Australian versus the Swiss franc, where we finally might be seeing a strong uptrend. But before we get started, guys, I would like to remind you that information in this video is for educational purpose only, should not be considered as the financial advice. And also don't forget to subscribe. Why not? Since you're already watching the video, and if you haven't subscribed, do it right away and click the notification bell to follow the videos we do every single day. So what is so interesting on the Australian Swiss franc currency pair? Well, we see that the price has been consolidating during the past month, where it actually failed to break above the trend line, the simple downtrend trend line. But then we had this breakout on the daily chart suggesting further uptrend. However, while the many traders could have entered the buy at this price when the daily closing price was above the trend line, well, the price did that. It went down quite a bit, and it was an extended or long corrective move down. It was pretty sluggish and it took almost 2 weeks. But what we see on this correction is a clean rejection of 61.8 fips. I have used the fips to apply to this move down, to this correction, and we see there is 61.8 was precisely rejected. At the same time, what we have on this chart is the 50 exponential moving average. So what happened after the trend line break? So there was a break above the downtrend trend line. Then price went up and corrected down, rejecting the exponential moving average. So I have used fips to apply to this correction. Then what we had on this correction, also a precise rejection of the 50 exponential moving average, and I have used this point to draw my uptrend trend line. Not only that, but I have used it also for the yet another Fibonacci retracement indicator. So what we have is rejection of the trend line, yet again clean rejection, and now new higher high. This is a very bullish pattern from what it seems, and it's a long-term move that can be expected from the Australian Swiss franc. So pretty strong uptrend I would expect. Now in regards to the resistance, so we have two fibs applied, one applied to this correction, another applied to this correction towards this point where the moving average was rejected cleanly. Both of them actually applied to the point where moving average was rejected. And what we see is the potential upside target, which corresponds to two Fibonacci retracement levels. First is 661.8 and second is 227.2. So these are two levels, and this is where price could be heading towards. And also, guys, this corresponds to the psychological level, which is 0.7. Very strong supply area or potential upside target. It should be considered by many as the key resistance, and this is where price might be getting. I have left another fibs, 361.8, because this is the area of resistance. I think price could be spiking higher and reaching even the next Fibonacci resistance. Nonetheless, we should watch the first key resistance. This is the most important level, obviously. This is a very bullish long-term view, because on the daily time frame seems extremely bullish. Maybe there will be yet another correction. Maybe we will retest the moving average. It's possible. Maybe retest the trend line, also possible. Maybe we'll produce the spike below this low here, also possible. But only if price will get below the support area, it will get invalidated. Before that, it will clearly remain a strong bullish trend. Usually what happens is that the price correcting down towards the previously made high, and this is where the bulls are likely to step in. So I would expect this corrective move down and then uptrend. Maybe not, maybe it will continue going non-stop. So there are multiple scenarios, whether the correction will be small or large, or whether there won't be any sort of correction. Well, in either case, this is an uptrend, and this is a very interesting opportunity, because if it corrects, this is the 300 pip move upside potential. Okay, let's move to other analysis we made previously, starting off with the Australian dollar. Well, this one, guys, I don't think there will be any correction, since we are having confirmation Australian Swiss franc as well, and I think it will be like that. So continuation of the uptrend non-stop. Next one is the pound dollar, also expecting a strong uptrend continuation towards the second resistance, most likely even higher. But yeah, it remains valid, still very interesting. Pound Australian dollar, also valid. We should be watching two resistance levels. First is 80.32, second is 83.00 psychological area. So these are the two resistances. The euro dollar, yes, expecting the uptrend to continue. So we are likely to have maybe some resistance at 122.57, but maybe it will be just a clean break above and then price will continue going up. So yeah, very strong uptrend. Next comes the Canadian Japanese yen. Here it's tricky. I think it will correct. It will attempt to break below. From what it seems is that the Canadian dollar could be strong and Japanese yen is also strong. All in all, it could be a range trading for the time being, but we see that the higher highs and higher lows are produced. So it's just a matter how far it can go. The previously made low is right there, 79.20 area, and only break below that could invalidate the bullish outlook. So let's keep on watching that. Canadian Swiss franc, very interesting, still remains valid. I think it will be going up, but this time I think this will not be the Canadian dollar strength but the Swiss franc weakness. I do think that the Swiss franc weakness could be pushing that price up. Next one, Australian versus the New Zealand dollar. Also very interesting, could be taken long term because maybe there will be this sort of correction before price goes up. So up until the end of the month or during this and next week, we might see this corrective move and then continuation of the uptrend. So maybe we will test the support area, maybe we will test one of the moving averages. But for now, it's just a consolidation. Nonetheless, it's an uptrend and I do expect it to continue. New Zealand dollar, clearly bullish sign here. We broke above the resistance and this means that the trend is up. It's very bullish. It will continue, invalidating these analysis because I was expecting the correction. Now it's clear that this is an uptrend continuation. So closing the chart. New Zealand Japanese yen. Well, here is the same. I think the New Zealand dollar broke to the upsides and I think there is a potential for further growth or continuation of this consolidation. I will invalidate this as well because we might not go any further down. So closing that chart as well. New Zealand Canadian also invalidated. We can see that the strength of the New Zealand dollar is there along with the Australian dollar, and today we had Australian Swiss franc, which also very bullish. We had Australian New Zealand dollar bullish, Australian dollar bullish. So Australian dollar still remains a very strong currency. Closing the chart for the New Zealand Canadian because it broke resistance, expecting the continuation long term to the upside. Euro New Zealand dollar, I don't like the price action there. I think we will continue going down. We are currently right at this support area, which might result in some sort of consolidation. But guys, look, if we go on the moving average and see there was the rejection, the new lower low produced, and I think this is basically a downtrend. It's likely to go down rather than up in my view. So we had a counter trend suggestion, which I think will not work. I think this will be a continuation of the downtrend. We had the rejection here of the moving average, yet again rejection of the moving average. So this is in fact going to be a downtrend. Maybe a correction, maybe spike above, but I don't think it will be going up. Nonetheless, it's possible, but not that much attractive anymore in my opinion, so we will not follow that anymore. Closing the chart. Swiss franc Japanese yen, very interesting here because of the Swiss franc weakness I do expect. So Swiss franc Japanese yen definitely remains a very interesting opportunity for sellers, and I think there is a potential for the downside. The very least is 170 pips, but I think it will be much stronger decline. So yeah, we had Australian Swiss franc for today. Hope you enjoyed it because it's really interesting what is happening. It just shows the potential beginning of a very strong uptrend because we don't get these daily confirmations very often, and this one is very interesting because of that. If you enjoyed it, click the like, subscribe to our channel, don't forget to click the notification bell, and let me know down in the comments below what you think on the Australian Swiss franc, whether you're long, whether you're short, just what are your thoughts. Maybe you're very bearish and I would love to hear why, or maybe you're bullish and I would love to hear your thoughts on this as well. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow with a new analysis. Take care and I wish you big profits.